Your life might not look anything like you expected it to at this point. You were looking forward to retirement or living life on your terms for the first time ever. Then suddenly you realize those dreams are never going to happen, or at least not the way that you thought they would. It isn't fair. You didn't do anything to dash those dreams, but they're gone and there's no getting them back. What do you do with unrealized dreams? Let's talk about it. When you have a face like mine, people open up to you. I work in data collection and statistics for the federal government, and people often tell me a whole lot more than I ever ask for. Takes me forever to get back in the car, but that's okay. Yesterday, I encountered a lady who had lost her husband 6 months ago. And within the last 12 months, she had also lost her daughter. She's really raw in her journey. You could see it all over her, very fragile. She looked like I used to feel, like she was about to shatter into a million pieces. And it was all she could do to hold herself together long enough to finish our conversation. In the beginning, for me, I wanted to know why this had happened. I know. Yeah, I was just, why? All those questions that you ask yourself. And people told me I would use my experience to help others. I thought, how in the world? I can't be any good to anybody if I don't understand it myself. What do I possibly have to give someone else? If someone had come up to me then and asked what to expect from widowhood, I would have just told them, man, I feel bad for you. It's horrible. It's tough. It's hard. It's the worst. All you want to do is sleep. You're angry. You're frustrated. You're full of doubt. But time is your friend. That's all I had, time. The first winter, when you come home from work and the house is dark because you forgot to leave a light on because you just didn't have to worry about that before. And that dark house just seems to mock you, telling you you're alone. There's not anybody in there waiting on you. It's awful. I cannot stress that enough. It's awful. But take heart. Time is your friend. The second winter is not as bad. It loses some of its sting, that dark house. It does lose some of its sting. And you also learn to leave lights on and other things that you didn't have to think about before. You learn ways to make your life easier, and it doesn't hurt as much. See, that's not very encouraging. I'm terrible at this. Oh, and I don't know if I've gotten any better, but it does get better. You adjust, and those things lose some of their sting. Uh, Back then, every day when my husband was here, when I would get home from work, I'd walk in the door and he would say, "Mama's home," to the dog and the cats because they're just all excited and they're running around. And that's what he'd always say, "Mama's home." Those first few months, that first year, when nobody said that, it was awful. And I've just now gotten to where I can say, "Mama's home," without bursting into tears. So it does get better. It does lose part of its sting. It's still tough, but anyway. So time does help. I still don't think, though, I have a lot to offer anyone. After all this time, I don't have any answers still. But I have learned in the last 3+ years that my answers probably wouldn't help anyone else anyway. We're all unique. Our grief journey is unique. Our needs are different. Our grief is different. It looks different for all of us. I used to think I was doing it wrong because it was so terrible. I thought, man, these other people, they must know what they're doing. So that was hard. But I have learned you're not doing it wrong. You're not. It's just different. It's different for everybody. And I don't know if my answers would help anyway, but I wanted a simple answer. I wanted to understand. I thought if I could understand if there was a logical reason why my husband was gone, I could make sense of it and I could start my grief journey. It's like with anything. I want an answer. I want to understand it. Just like, why does the moon shine? You can see the moon in the sky in the daytime right up there next to the sun. Why does that happen? If I could understand it, then it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. Okay, I'm not a complete imbecile. And that's what I wanted with grief. I wanted to understand so I could start my recovery. Most of us know deep down there isn't really an answer. If there were, we wouldn't accept it anyway. Yeah. What most people want is just for someone to listen. Just sit there and listen and let me talk, let me vent, let me rage, and don't try to fix it. That's the worst. Just be there for me. Just listen and let me cry. So many people say, oh, I don't want to say anything because she'll start crying. Tears are the best. Tears are cleansing. We've got to let that out. So don't ever worry that if you make her cry or him, that you'll get them all upset. They're already upset. But the tears are cleansing. So anyway, just be there. That's what we all need because you can't fix this. But anyway, in 2 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul writes that God consoled us in our trials and afflictions, so we are able to control others in theirs. As the sufferings of Christ were many, so are the consolations through Christ. It was offered to us so we can be equipped to offer it to others. The pains, the struggles, the challenges that we all go through are not unique to us. The Lord will use them to bless others, and we will be blessed by offering that kindness and consolation to them. Before I lost my husband, I had no idea how to console a widow. I had no idea how hard it is for someone who's alone to walk into a strange setting with no one beside them. Before I experienced the situation myself, it never crossed my mind what it would be like to walk into a building and not know whether at a ball game or a wedding. Oh, weddings are tough. Where are they going to make me sit? A church dinner, a mother-daughter banquet. Where am I going to sit without crashing someone else's party? Will I be a third wheel? What if they're already situated? And sure, they'll make room for me. They'll move chairs around and they'll welcome me. But is it a situation where they're just doing it to be nice? And don't you hate that? Don't you hate it when people do things just to be nice? It's just a terrible situation. And it never, ever crossed my mind before. But now, especially early on, I would be thinking about it when I first got the invitation to go to the event. I'd be thinking, where am I going to sit? Who am I going to talk to? What if I don't know people really well there? Or worse, you do know people and everybody gives you that pitiful look. Oh, how are you doing, Teresa? How is everything? How you holding up? Yeah. Anyway, so that was hard. I still think about it, but it's not as rough. I've gotten used to that. So now I usually think about it as I walk into the room. But I always hope, oh, please don't make me have to stand there for 5 minutes and scan the room and looking for an empty seat or a friendly face or somebody to come over and take my arm, something. Oh, it's just awful. Yeah. But I never thought about that before because I was not in that position. I have a friend who is wonderful. She's never been here. She's not a widow. never been in my position, but she is amazing. She would know, I would call her and I would be ranting and raging, and I'd be doing my journaling in the morning, and I'd get myself all worked up, and I would be so upset. And why doesn't this make sense? And what is the point of this? And why is this happening? And whatever it was that was really getting me that day, she had never been there. But still, she could talk me down. And some people are empathetic that way. They're amazing. It's a blessing. God uses them. But most of us, if we've not experienced a thing, it's really hard for us to be understanding. I mean, I know we try and we do help. I'm not saying the only people I ever want to talk to are other widows. Some people, I mean, they help some, but to have a person that just feels you, understands you, and can talk to you and talk you off that ledge, that's amazing. And if you're that person, and if you have a friend like that, comment below. They are such a blessing. And God love them. Oh, I just so appreciate people like that. I'm going to have a huge mansion in heaven. Huh. Uh, anyway, but let me know. Do you feel my pain? Do you know what I'm saying? Um, and hopefully you do have at least one friend. And I do have a lot of really great people, but she's just absolutely amazing. And she still is. With the lady I met yesterday, I wanted to encourage her, but there's only so much I can say or do. Besides the fact that my job would not allow me to get into your personal business, uh, at this point in her grief journey, she is still trying to adjust. She's still getting her sea legs. Um, so there's really not a whole lot to say. Just let her talk. Um, she told me she isn't interested in taking care of herself. She doesn't want to move around. She doesn't want to get dressed. She doesn't want to go outside. Um, and that's so common. Yeah, I remember that. I remember those days. She talked about trips that they were not going to get to take. When they honeymooned, they went to Hawaii, and every 5 years, her husband planned this great, amazing vacation. Just something really cool every 5 years. And this time it was going to be Australia. Well, that dream of hers will never be realized, at least not with him. Maybe it's not losing someone that has left you with unrealized dreams. Maybe your health and physical limitations are what are preventing you from realizing your dreams. It could be a job or a career loss or a broken relationship with a family member. My husband isn't coming back. Your career might be lost forever. Your health may be keeping you from doing what you want to do. And you know it's not going to change. There's a song, like a chorus that we sing in church. It says, God, turn it around. God, turn it around. Turn it around. I'm calling on the name that changes everything. Yes, God, turn it around. Well, at the early stages of my loss, my church sang that a lot. Well, I'd leave. I'd leave the sanctuary. I could not sit there. And I'm sorry, maybe it's your favorite song and maybe it encourages you, but I couldn't listen to it. If it was meant to encourage me, it did not encourage me. It frustrated me. I did not understand it, and I'm still not positive, but my situation could not turn around. My husband was not coming back. There was no turning it around. I was a widow. And believe me, I wished for a do-over, but there wasn't one coming. I was a widow. Even if somewhere down the road I remarry, I will still be a widow. Well, anyway, I will still have buried a husband. Yeah, that's not going to change. It's not going to turn around. And I guess I understand the song a little better. I kind of understand the message. But at that time, when you're in the midst of an awful situation, for me, that song was not helpful. And I'm still not wild about it. But yeah, anyway. So, what do you do with unrealized dreams? The short answer is, and you may not like it, you might not want to hear it, but the short answer is get a new dream. Yeah. My sister once told me about a young man that she knew whose dream was to be a soldier. That's all he wanted to do. He could not wait until he was old enough, ready, and he was going to become a soldier. Sorry. Well, something happened with his health, or either she didn't know for sure, or I'm not remembering, but something happened to where he could not fulfill that dream. He couldn't do it. He was crushed. He saw no future for himself. He saw no hope. And I told her, I said, he needs to get a new dream. That's the long and short of it. He couldn't let one lost dream stop him from enjoying the rest of his life and becoming productive and live a rewarding life and be a blessing to others. But in grief or loss or frustration, it's not what a person wants to hear. But I still think it's the only answer. If you have another answer or another, I'm sure there's other answers, but the long and short of it, if you have something else, comment below, let me know, because you just have to get a new dream. Sorry, I just got a text. When the person that you love is gone, or when your dream is gone, there's no turning around. You can't get them back. I can still go to Australia or the Great Wall of China, but I'm not going to go with him. I can still have a wonderful, fun, exciting, rewarding retirement, but my husband will not be a physical part of it. But as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, but he is a part of it still. And that's kind of comforting. He will be part of my retirement and the rest of my life because he's such a big part of the reason that I can retire the way that I can. I don't have to worry about keeping the lights on or, paying the rent because of the way that we work together through those 30 years, budgeting, doing without, investing. So it's because of him and what we built together that I am going to have a retirement that, And more than that, he contributed to shaping me into the person I am now after 30 years. And I think I contributed to the person he became in that 30 years. We grew together, we evolved, we challenged one another. So he is going to play a big part in my dreams, even though he's not here. Yeah. My dreams have changed. Not a whole lot yet, but I'm sure they will. I focus a lot more on my writing than I did when he was here. It's going pretty well. I had a good year in 2024, and 2025 looks like it's going to be even better. So that's exciting. He would be so proud, so excited. Oh my gosh, he just talked about me everywhere we went. Yeah, it was wonderful. He'd be so excited about this channel. I could just see him now. He'd be thinking up ideas, and he would say, "Oh, honey, you need to do a episode on this. You need to talk about that. That's interesting. That's fascinating. Talk about that in your next video." He'd be really into that. He's not here, but my life isn't over. I can't just give up on every dream I have or thought I had because he's not here. I couldn't say any of that to that lady. She was too early in her journey. She wasn't ready to hear it. And I hope that young soldier found another dream for himself. I think about him probably kind of often, more than other people that I just heard some random fact about him. But I just hope that he did find his dream. And I hope you have too. If you haven't, I hope you're headed in that direction. Let me know if you've had to change your dreams. If you want to talk about it, let me know. Or if you're still kind of not, yeah, really sure what to do, you're too early in your journey to even be thinking about this kind of thing, that's okay too. But let us know. But I hope that you are um, kind of growing and recovering and accepting that your dream just has to change, or at least be altered some. And you might find you need a whole new dream. Let me know in the comments. Has God turned things around for you? Wherever you are, be encouraged. Encourage someone else today. Like this video and share this video with someone who might be helped by my channel. You might have noticed I changed the name. It was just my name because I hadn't even really thought about it, but I put some thought into it. Of I just want to give it a new name where people, when they saw it, they would kind of realize what what it was. Yeah, how it could maybe help them. But now I call it Healing After Loss, and I hope that that gives viewers an idea of what to expect. But don't forget, I'm here for you. I want us to grow and to learn together. We're all in this together. Be blessed, be encouraged, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk soon.